Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP Morning Show.
Well, this was a really bad day to give up live streaming. It seems we have a power outage in the whole of the country here in Portugal at the moment. I got a call to say that well, I won't say who it was who called me, but they called me thinking that I might know what was going on. So this is going to be a team effort. I understand that Portugal is without electricity. It began here when I was in the toilet and I noticed the light went off, and my youngest child came to tell me that they didn't have any power, and or that the power had gone off in the house. So I decided to walk the dog, and as I walked the dogs, the neighbour said that I can't work. One neighbour said I can't. It was a nice opportunity to see a lot of neighbours on the street, it has to be said. And I met a new neighbour, and I walked the dogs. Came home to get a phone call from a good friend who said the whole country is out of electricity. So that's where we are at the moment. If you have any updates, I can see there are a lot of people watching, many people watching, and this is a very unusual situation to be in. So let's approach this as a team, shall we? As we find out exactly what's going on. I'm here. Not with my normal equipment, with a laptop that I hope is fairly well charged, a hotspot, which tells us that although the grid is out, the power to the networks doesn't seem to be out, and I'm able here in Portugal, on the Silver Coast of Portugal, if you're watching and you haven't seen Good Morning Portugal before, I'm an hour north of Lisbon, just over an hour north of Lisbon. And we have no power here, and I had a call from a friend. Well, he was on the move, so he was in Portugal. I don't know which part he's in. If he was near home, he would have been south of the river in Lisbon as well. So I'm not seeing any comments yet. Please let me know who you are and what the situation is where you are in Portugal or in other parts of the world. If you're watching to find out what's going on, give us your update. This will be a team effort, as I say. But currently, as it stands, I'm going to go to the nation's TV service and websites and see what I can find out. So I'm going to OUTAGE, the radio and television network of Portugal, and I am seeing. I am seeing some information on the screen here that. And forgive me, in the heat of this moment, I am going to have to translate, quite frankly, what's going on. But it does seem that energy supply cut, and other European countries. So it's not just Portugal, it would appear. Help me out here if you'll see. I'll check on Facebook as well, and I'll keep an eye on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is. The Portugal code 351 and then 913-590-303, which will be quite a good place for you to send any images you've got or any pictures or even messages. I don't know, I might be able to play messages, but I'll just put my WhatsApp into the chat here. So 00351 913 590-303 as we try and make sense of the situation that we find ourselves in on a Monday morning, the 28th of April. It looks as though well over 200 people are watching the live stream. So it's a bit bizarre that not one of you has commented so far, but please do so. Let me know who you are, where you are, and what's going on in your part of Portugal or Europe. And give us an idea of what's happening for you, if you will. So I'm just about to read from the RTP1 website, and I will okay, maybe the power supply to Google Translate has been cut. But this is an opportunity for anybody who's watching, who is in Portugal, who can read Portuguese, to let me know what's going on. I'll put this on the screen anyway, and I'll do my best to. I'm trying to record that. I'm just trying to share something at the moment. Forgive me, I didn't expect to be doing this morning, but here we are. There we go. That's RTP1. And Neil, good morning to you. But you're telling me, you're updating me there. Thank you very much, Neil. Neil Farramond, Spain and most of Portugal without power. I read parts of France also, and you're in central Portugal. Thank you, Neil. Just to make it clear that if this is causing any difficulties for anybody and you need any urgent help and you want to use this as a kind of hub for doing so, please feel free. I'll do my best to navigate our way through well, it's that word again, isn't it? An unprecedented situation that we find ourselves here in certainly like Spain as well. I'm going to have a look at my. I'm just going to leave it on the screen for you to see there and let more messages come in. And of course, I'm sure our families and friends, when they find out what's going on, will be in touch with us to see what's happening when they're hearing that the entire country is without power. Can anybody in living memory remember this happening? That wasn't a sudden outage, that wasn't some sort of industrial action or something of that kind, I wonder. I'm seeing here, friends, I have solar panels but still no electricity. I don't have batteries though. So those aren't so great to have, but they're just ornaments in the garden for that particular person. Okay, computer attack on EDP. So this got posted in a Facebook group apparently. Computer attack on EDP affects the entire Iberian Peninsula and parts of France. Also affects mobile telephone networks. Well, I happen to be on, I've got a hotspot via Vodafone. So if you have Vodafone or could get access to Vodafone, you will, oh, thank you. That's somebody who I know as a lawyer who's reported a particular story there. I'll try and cut and paste these. But be careful. This is just I'm reading from a text that's come from somebody who saw something in a Facebook group. So take that with a pinch of salt. But that's an early report. Computer attack on EDP. Oh, okay, so it makes sense, does it not, that this might be an EDP problem because they are French in origin, I believe, although Chinese owned. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not attempting to claim to be any kind of authority whatsoever. I've just cranked up the live stream. It's really weird because I stopped live streaming on Friday and started doing something different on Good Morning Portugal. And just as they say in Airplane, a bad week to give up sniffing glue. This was a bad week to give up live streaming. So let's just see if we can be helpful to each other this morning. Updates from around the country, from the Iberian Peninsula, if you have them. Thank you, Neil, so far, who reported earlier that Spain and most of Portugal without power. I read parts of France also. So this particular line of inquiry or thought, computer attack on EDP affects the entire Iberian Peninsula and parts of France, also affects mobile telephone networks. So that would appear to be the case. That's a good question, Bob. What are you broadcasting on? Adrenaline, mainly. But yeah, to answer your question, I've got a fully charged laptop. I have Vodafone, which presumably is not connected to the grid in quite the same way as maybe some of the other networks that are not so well connected at the moment. Yeah, our neighbour said Spain and France, also that's from a friend in Lisbon. The Portuguese electricity outage, Portugal, Spain and France. I'm surprised he's not doing a live stream or recording a video as we speak. My own Grapevine messaging network for San Martino de Porto, where I live, messages abounding there. Anyone have power? None. So people getting the message, I think, that it's not just local, it is national. I'm seeing the power out in all of Spain as well. And the person who called me from around Lisbon area, I'm assuming that's where they are. That's a bit dramatic. Are we under attack? Although I think that was a joke, possibly with a grinning emoji. The person who called me from the Lisbon area, they were saying that the traffic lights are out, so obviously that's going to cause a lot of chaos across the whole Iberian Peninsula. Don't open your fridge or freezer is one interesting message. I'm presuming that if you break the vacuum seal or the hermetic seal on your fridge or freezer, you will affect its performance. So isn't it funny? Yeah, toilet paper, quick! Somebody giggling there in my local network, my local WhatsApp network. So WhatsApp is working clearly at the moment. Let's all go quickly to Intermarché. Don't panic, Mr. Mandarin, I think is an important message. I think the Blitz spirit is already kicking in with some of the messages I'm seeing here. Someone says stock up on condoms like they do in France as well in such situations. Yes, or there'll be lots of babies in 9 months called EDP, possibly as well. And this is why Mama always said, keep cash in your pocket. What? Mrs. M shouting through from the kitchen. All our buckets and bath are full of water, I believe. Allegedly. Don't come around here if you want water. Only kidding. This is the time when we can all help each other out, right? This is our test, or one of them. And spooky old timing, it has to be said. When we got when we had the European Commission suggesting that people get supplies in for a 72-hour emergency. Okay, don't go there, Carl, just yet. I'm having a little code with Facebook as well. I think it's quite strange. Over 350 people are watching the live stream, but only 3 messages. Thank you for 2 correspondents, Neil and Bob, so far. But there you go. Well, what I'm broadcasting on is a laptop and my mobile phone as well. And I'm guessing that my connection at any time could go, and I'm dependent on battery power as well. I'll be here and remain as helpful as I possibly can be in this really unusual situation, basically. Rushing around the bar, so precaution mode if the go. Perhaps the parking system should go in Portugal as well, in case you hadn't thought of that. Okay, let me just on there. Yeah, I actually say can't. It's not the end of the world. It's clearly okay, so I did have a bit of an outage there. Back now, I'm really not sure. Yeah, this is the other comment. Anna, end of the world is upon us. Not just yet, Anna. Come on, hang on in there. This might be a big wake-up call, as much as anything else, quite frankly. Or maybe the end of the world as we know it, and we'll build a possibly more sustainable and resilient world where the whole electricity of an entire peninsula, from what I'm hearing, the likes of Portugal, Spain, and parts of France can be plunged into darkness by one single event. That does not make sense, does it? We think we're quite progressed. We think we're quite civilized. But if that's what's possible, that doesn't sound incredibly technologically advanced, that we would have be so precariously balanced and vulnerable in this way. So let me just bring the I'm going to bring that back onto the screen there so that you can see what's going on from RTP1, and I'll also try and bring together some other news sources as well. If you could do the same, I'd be grateful. Oh, I'm getting a phone call now. Okay, I'm not going to take that unless that person wanted to. If you're watching me, TB, who just called me, and you want to come onto the screen, just let me know. Benji's asking, is this a political war? No, it's a power cut. Okay, let's just calm down here, right? And I think in many ways we are very badly prepared, as in just one thing can put us in this condition. Yet mentally, we've all been prepared to expect the worst. Hence, that is this a political war? Don't know. Not that I'm aware of at the moment. Let's go with the fact, shall we? And the fact for me is that I don't have any power into my house, and I understand that the others around the country, the whole country of Portugal and Spain and parts of France, are in a similar situation, which is utterly ridiculous. And Anna, absolutely right. It really is a wake-up call. So see if you can, fair enough, we're going to get some speculation, aren't we? But if you've got any facts that might be helpful to other people in this condition, in this situation, please pop them into the chat. Links, whatever you've got, whatever you are finding out is going on in your sphere of influence, not beyond it, not in the realm where people are thinking it's the end of the world and a political war, but where things are actually happening and you can see them. Are the traffic lights on or off? You know, obviously if you haven't got power and you need power to join a live stream, you're not going to be here in the first place. But if you've got enough power and resources to connect with me online and say what's going on in your part of the country, do so. I'm just responding to the person who was calling me. I'm just typing in here, just in case you've joined as well, whole country power outage. That is a situation as I understand it. I'm Carl Munson, this is Good Morning Portugal. And I'm seeing another message here, yeah, mass power blackout. Don't worry. Oh, okay, hold on a minute, that's something on another subject. Veganism, equally important, obviously. Mass power blackout, stay safe. From one correspondent there. Yeah, so I think we're up to speed on that, aren't we? Somebody who I know just tried to fill up with petrol just in case, and the pumps don't work. So the pumps are out, fuel pumps are out. Can anyone else call mobile phone numbers? I think I need to let a few more people know that we've got this live stream and where we're available at the moment. Okay, so we've got a few more people joining us now, maybe with some news and information about what's going on. I hope you can hear me. If there's any technical problems from this point of view, you just let me know, okay, and I'll do my best to write them. But that's where we're at the moment. I'll come back to your comments in just a moment. I need to send one or two more WhatsApp messages outward bound. And we will keep you abreast of the situation as much as we possibly can here, as a bit of a helpline. Okay, we heard Spain, France, and Germany too. Okay, so that's Germany. Germany's hat or lederhosen are in the ring too now. Parts of Germany. We're still not sure of a cause. My understanding is that we are dealing with an EDP outage, and EDP having an effect or have supply problems then to Portugal, Spain, and parts of France. That's where we're at the moment. Okay, more messages coming in now. This is good. Over 400 people watching at the moment. So some of you have got access to power and the internet through some means. Same as Spain, Germany, and Italy. So we've got Germany and Italy now. So Portugal, Spain, parts of France, Germany, and Italy. That's the situation. Thank you, Agnon H1 there. BB, the link builder. Good. What time is it now? Let me do a time check as well. 12:35 here in Portugal. My family on Mallorca still has power. Thank you for that update. So Mallorca is okay. Unusual as no solar flares or CMEs, coronal mass ejections. That's something a lot of people have been concerned about, isn't it? A solar flare or a coronal mass ejection might cause a power surge and out parts of the grid. So nothing has been reported from that point of view. Amil, thank you for that. Jude, Nisantha, any clue of the cause of this? Not yet. We're still looking, and I need you to keep looking for me, if you will. Mr. S also here, and a report from Qashqai incoming as well. So I just want to send another message out so I can increase my grid at the moment of information, that is. So I just staying in contact with a few other people behind the scenes to increase our network power in terms of social network power, and that we can get information from other people around the country, around the continent, as it turns out. So no clue yet, Jude. I cannot call any numbers whatsoever. Okay, Benji, if there's an I don't know exactly how. This is all quite unexpected, but if there are ways we can connect you or relay things, if it's a real emergency, let us know, Benji. Anna, I was out of cell data for a while. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it sounds like you're back again, perhaps. Luckily, I have that. Otherwise, I'd be in the dark. Okay, so you do have your cell data for that. Okay, this is interesting. Jude saying no water in Qashqai. Okay, so obviously, as I suspected and suggested earlier on, the advice is, if you do have running water still, fill up your bath and maybe other receptacles. The kettle is not such a good call for obvious reasons, unless you've got a gas or a flame-powered kettle and not an electric one, but it's a useful receptacle in which to store water nonetheless. So no water in Qashqai at the moment. Now, are those in Portugal connecting to the internet here? We seem to be okay internet-wise. For me, on a hotspot via Vodafone. Vodafone seems to be okay. Mr. S, when Carl said not that I'm aware of, I heard not that I'm a. Yeah, I'm probably not able to help you with your visa process at the moment. I imagine they're if only they'd not gone digital and we're still all paperless, you might be okay. It's unlikely. Well, you can ring them if you're on Vodafone. Not that they answer, generally speaking, anyway. But not a good day. It's never a good day to call IMA. It's a particularly bad one today. And there's an election coming up. This will be a test of the Portuguese politicians, won't it? How would they deal with this? And who were those who allowed us to get into this position in the first place? When you outsource your power supply or the responsibility for it to a government, and you pay your taxes, you do expect there to be some power, don't you? And not for something like this to occur. They are saying, this is Scott, they are saying that there was a power surge directed to the Pyrenees, and due to that, the lines were overcharged and cut off. So is that, on that theory, Scott, there's a Pyrenean power connection that's plunged Portugal and Spain into electrical darkness. A metaphor, obviously, because the sun is still shining, in case you hadn't noticed. And it's a beautiful day here in Portugal. I predict this weather might not hold up. There's been quite a lot of spraying, but that's another matter altogether, isn't it? Let's not go there right now. So the Pyrenean, not the Pyrenean, the Pyrenean power line theory, that's of them. So they were overcharged and cut. Could we really have the whole peninsula on a single power line coming to an entire peninsula? Perhaps we do. Perhaps that's why we're in the situation we're in. I think my connection's coming in and out. I'm going to do my best to share these on the screen. And this is when we need Lord Gilchrist on the phone. If anyone can find me Lord Gilchrist, who knows about networks and stuff, he might be a useful person to call in. How are you connecting to the internet? No, I'm on a charged laptop and I'm on a phone hotspot. And I don't know how long it's going to last. I've got 22% on my phone, battery-wise. Don't intend to be here all day. Just want to be as helpful as possible for the time that we are here. You're okay. So, Mr. S, no shortages in Boston, 7:37 a.m. Good to know. Thank you very much. Frederick, also here with us this morning. We don't have a cause, we have some theories currently. I'm just going to mark the theories as they are so far. One of them being the Pyrenean power cables coming over the Pyrenees that have been burnt out. And currently EDP with power supply problems into Portugal, Spain, France, Germany, and did I see Italy as well? Yes, Italy as well. That came in from Agnog. I'm going to call you now. No water in Kashkash also reported. All right, let's see what else we've got for you in the chat here that's coming through. Frederick, please, what's the cause of this? I'm really terrified. Frederick, please stay calm. It's really important that people stay calm and respond to the facts of the situation. Now, I know we've all been psychologically prepared, if you like, and terrified, and conditioned to expect the worst and terrible things. But the facts, as I see them looking out of my windows, the sun is still shining, and we don't have electricity. Okay, so let's keep this in perspective and breathe, Frederick. Anyone else who finds themselves terrified, please come back into your body and get yourself in a stable mental condition where you're able to assess the facts, because it's not going to be great if you start panicking and you cause other people to panic. Okay, panic is not what we need right now. Okay, so as well as no water in Kashkash there, my buttons are a little bit laggy. I think that's the connection between me and the cloud-based technology I'm using. But I'll just read out the comments then. No light from Hush Animatesh. No light in Azambuja. Which is that? Can you be specific as well when you're telling me of locations? I think there are probably one or two Azambujas. Are there not around Portugal? PHV, all of Porto, no electricity, and subsequently everywhere, all systems reliant on electricity are down. Does this mean I need to start live streaming every day again? I started live streaming as Good Morning Portugal because of the pandemic and being a helpline during that time. Decided to stop last Friday, and we have a massive national power outage. Okay, so that's good news. Thank you, PHV. Just to let you know that the Vodafone 4G network is working. It perhaps, well, it would appear not to be connected to the same power supply that is affecting the rest of Portugal, Spain, parts of France, some of Germany, and perhaps Italy as well. I live in Leiria and everything is in chaos, shops closed except for some exceptions, such as in the mall, being now completely crowded. Okay, so that's an interesting development. People are heading to shopping malls where presumably they have their own generators and are continuing to run on their own power. Thank you, Joyce Stir, for that. All trains then, that's useful information as well. Thank you, Fiona. All trains cancelled. Many people due to be paid today haven't been, and that's most people. Good God. Okay, so the implications of this are unfolding. Yes, I think I need to go and make myself useful in my own home here. Cellular internet still working because the towers use battery power. Thank you very much for that. Debbie, good to see you, Debbie, in Coimbra. I guess I will gather some sticks to heat my lunch today. Says Dine, I'll call you that there. Jude, Portugal is completely out, not just Kashkash, but I think Jude was talking about the water, not the electricity. Mrs. Evans just asked me a question, why have we got water? I imagine different water authorities, different water suppliers. No, Kashkash doesn't have water. No surprise if we figure it out, says Amel, that Vladimir Hitler Putin is behind it, absolutely. I don't know how you can come to that conclusion so quickly, but you'll have to join a queue with other people blaming other people, Amel, at the moment. Thank goodness for the Anchor 6 kilowatt generator. Anchor, if you're watching, we are open to a sponsorship deal. Anchor, sounds like it's a good system to have. PHV, tell us more about that. There's going to be a run on those at the moment. Invest in Anchor at the moment. Mrs. M, get me my stockbroker on the phone. Hope they keep the banks safe. There are many things to consider at the moment, but my mind is going haywire, says Benji. Yeah, and a lot of people would have told us we should have thought about these things long before this day when it actually happens, Benji. like 10 years ago when Mrs. M was telling me. Your signal transmission is breaking. It will be PHP. I can't help that. I'm on one bar of internet here on my hotspot. I'm just having to go with that.
Can you keep your phone for emergencies?
I'm going to keep my phone for emergencies. Connection is horrible. Sorry, more Jen Freemoon. I'll cut it short in just a moment.
My characters know that we're safe.
Okay. Well, you can use the phone. Outage in Elvish at the moment. And bro, our power is gone for now. Thank you, Claudio Marangoni. Are you Italian or are you in Portugal? T-Duck is on as well, a regular GMP stalwart with us as well. I think we are coming in and out. My guess is mismanagement, corruption, and grift. I tend to agree with you on that rather than some of the other accusations so far. But we don't know. We don't know when your electricity. My electricity within our Volcan. Good morning to you. BBC reporting major fire at the French-Spanish border. Perhaps that's it. French-Spanish border, power, electricity. This is very useful. Well done to you who are trying to find what's going on and reporting and sharing it here. Thank you very much for that. Getting a thumbs up from Benji on that as well. Talk to a friend. No issues. Italy, okay. Sorry if I caused you any concern. I was just reporting what somebody else had said there. Possibility that not only Portugal and Spain on the Iberian Peninsula are struggling, but we've also got parts of France, Germany, and the suggestion of Italy. But no, apparently not the case. Thank you very much for that report from a friend of a friend in Italy there. Bad for all of us, so it's not a him problem. See what I think. Okay, just do the rest. Okay, just let's keep the resources needed down to a minimum. RTP are on it anyway, and we can see there on their website, they're all over this, and the Portuguese media are beginning to report on this. But we're as quick as they are, it would appear, in this situation, unless they know something we don't. BBC reporting major fire at French-Spanish border. Thanks for that one, PHV. Power Electricity Hub. Yeah, and the friend in Italy, no issues there in Italy. Okay. Mayo 5G is working. Okay, so as well as Vodafone 5G, Mayo 5G working too until the backups run out. Thank you for that, Tito. Outage in Ponte Lima, we're finding out as well, so we can safely assume it's all of Portugal, I think, based on what we've heard so far. Hello, I didn't realise you were live. I didn't realise I was live either. I stopped live streaming last Friday. Klaus Schwab's infamous statement of last year, there will be an existential crisis in the form of a cyber attack. Well, let's not jump to conclusions just yet, which will make COVID feel like a mere inconvenience. Right, okay. Go steady, everybody, on this sort of thing. News are saying that there was a fire in France and they had to divert power. Is this verifiable? Well, we'll do our best to do that. Czech Republic, fully fine. Thank you, Tuzak Zibicki. Hopefully, I've said your name correctly. Guys, this is chaos. Well, yeah, Lisbon is out too. Renato Muela, thank you very much, Renato, for that. I'm aware, Anna, that Azambuja is in Portugal. I just thought there were one or two Azambujas. I hope the electric is restored shortly. If you've not experienced it on a regular basis, aka hurricane season in Florida, it can be scary. We're doing our best to stay calm here, Eileen. When in doubt, do a live stream. Sarah Taylor, I wonder how long an outage this massive will take to restore. It's going to be very, very interesting these next few days. Stay calm, everybody. Stay peaceful. Keep breathing, and help each other. Okay. Since certain people have been in power, chaos has erupted in many ways, and we all know it. Whatever has happened, it is fair. Our mind is going there. Yeah, fair enough, Benji. I've got no argument with you. I just want to make sure we've got a balanced view on things here, and not to get carried away with anything. A tornado passed the other day. This is scary, says Claudio. EDP, state prepare for no power overnight. Okay, so that's news. EDP are saying a warning that we should prepare for no power overnight. kids put up a tent in the garden. Well, it looks like we might use that tonight. For those that feel anxious, thank you, Eileen. This is really helpful. For those that feel anxious, breathe using the 4-7-8 method, or the 5-5-5 method works as well. Stay calm. Euro news from Jane Adlington, thank you. The cause is yet unclear. Domestic media are reporting issues with the European electric grid, which affected national grids in the Iberian Peninsula. However, a fire in the southwest of France on the Alaric mountain, which damaged a high voltage power line between Perpignan and eastern Narbonne, has also been identified as a possible cause. I don't know, Claudio, when the energy will come back. We just had one report there that EDP are saying prepare for no power overnight tonight. I'm in Rego, where we're out of electricity too. That's from Ains Gown. And Amil's still here. Reports coming in. Fire at a power station at the Alaric Mountain, southwest of France, damaged a high voltage power line between Perpignan and Narbonne. Thank you for that. That's another confirmation of that particular idea there, story. Supplying power to the Iberian Peninsula. Okay, that's a continuation of that. So incoming power to the Iberian Peninsula affected possibly by a fire and the damage to a high voltage power line. What about airports, hospitals? Yes, indeed. If you are professionals in those areas, get to work, see what you can do to help. What about those airports and hospitals? You to be or not to be? I guess I should just make it clear or suggest that people stay at home. You know, this is not the time to panic and go out panic buying, trying to make that flight you booked, all that sort of stuff. Revert to first position, and that is to stay calm at home at the moment. I think the hospital is chaos. I imagine most hospitals have backup systems, which they're using at the moment. I believe hospitals are on generators from crappy products. They are, of course they are. And we shall watch as this situation unfolds. Unprecedented situation here in Portugal for sure. No power in Portugal. None, it would appear, in Spain, some parts of France, and the suggestion of Germany and Italy. Not so in Italy, it would appear. Not sure about Germany. Airports, I have no idea, as I presume it's not the biggest priority, but hospitals should have enough power from generators. Thanks, Benji, for that. And we saw Heathrow plunged into darkness recently. This is certainly fair to say, I think, that we have vulnerabilities that are not entirely sensible at the moment, and this might be one of them. Update on countries affected. Thank you. All right, so some parts of Italy have been affected. Belgium, Spain, Portugal, Germany, some parts as well. France, so far unconfirmed. Thank you. Really helpful information. Thank you, everybody, for this. Power out in Camarena, Toledo in Spain. And yes, my sister is working in a hospital in Lisbon, and it's going to be bad for them as well. Yeah, I guess we need to let the emergency services get on with their jobs at the moment, because they're going to be busy. And I imagine all Bombeiros personnel will be manning their stations on standby as well to make sure they can help. Although I've not heard the alarm here in San Martino de Porto at the moment. Right, I'm going to leave it there and make sure everything's okay back here at home. We may come on again later, and please add to the comments in below this. That's probably the best way now to communicate with each other if you've got access to Vodafone or Mayo. Their 5G networks are working. Let's stay in touch with each other, inform people to people on the thread here. If you've got access to YouTube, that's one way of doing it. Take care. Please don't panic. Please breathe and just make sensible, stress-free as much as possible precautions to take care of yourself. And if everyone does that, I think we're going to be okay. So we'll be back as and when conditions are.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell.